So next is one of my favorite kinds of meals because it's so versatile. But we're gonna make a delicious chicken quesadilla. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna turn on our heat. We're gonna start that. In the meantime, we're quickly going to just kind of chop up your vegetables. They're kind of cubed, you don't need it diced, but you want them to be in more bite-sized pieces. Also gonna do that with your chicken, which is smoked in-house at Forager. And so we're just gonna make sure that we've got nice bite-sized bits in there. So kind of like this. From this point, I'm gonna add a little bit of olive oil to our warm pan. And we are going to add the chicken. And all the delicious vegetables. So we're gonna saute that for just a couple minutes until kind of the onions start to become just translucent. And get this all kind of mixed in together. And saute those up. All right, so our onions are looking nice and cooked, which means our peppers should be nice and al dente. So we're gonna kill the heat, and we don't wanna cover it because we wanna keep those veggies nice and crisp because they're gonna get cooked again in the quesadilla. I'm gonna take one of your tortillas and turn on the heat. And what we like to do is throw this down in the pan and get it nice and heated up on one side so it gets a little crispy. It makes your tortilla just kind of fold together better and have a nice crispier texture to it. So I'm gonna heat this up for about 30 seconds, just kind of watch it. Once it starts to feel pretty warm, I'm gonna flip it over and we'll build one quesadilla at a time. So we'll use half of these veggies, half the cheese, make it, and then you'll repeat again with the same tortilla for your next batch. All right, so our tortilla is nice and heated on that side, so we're gonna flip it over into the pan. We're gonna take our delicious chicken and veggies and kind of scatter this around. So at home, Annie and I love to make quesadillas, and we kind of use it for anything that we like. So if we have leftovers in the fridge, a lot of times we'll turn them into quesadillas. If you like it spicy, you can add a little hot sauce at this point, some chili powder, anything. So then we're gonna sprinkle our cheese onto this as well. And it's gonna start to melt down once we fold it over. So then we're gonna take our tortilla, carefully fold it onto the meat and cheese, and give it just a gentle kind of pat down, just to make sure it wants to hold its form. And I'll sit here probably about 1 minute before we flip it over. It might take a little bit longer depending on what heat you're cooking at. And sometimes in the pan, I'll spin it around too, just to kind of get it onto a nice new hot spot. So what we're gonna do now is flip over our quesadilla. So the cheese is gonna be pretty well melted. You wanna be fairly careful here. You're gonna flip it over. You got that nice browning on that side. And that was for about 1 minute. And we're basically gonna let this sit for maybe 30 seconds, kill the heat. In the meantime, we're gonna get our garnishes ready. As you can see, we brought out some of our favorite hot sauces. Annie prefers Tapatio. I, on the other hand, prefer this extremely spicy, handmade stuff from He Who Shall Not Be Named, one of our great friends here in town who provides us with a nice hot sauce. And we also have our pico de gallo. We're gonna kill our heat. And if you want, scoop them right out of here. If you wanna make it look a little different, a little nicer, throw it into a little garnish bowl, a little cup. And there's never too much cream cheese when it comes to quesadillas. If you've got any avocados that are ripe around your house, definitely cut those up. And if you want to top your quesadillas with some nice sliced avocado as well. So our quesadilla is now probably just about done on the other side. So we're gonna scoop it out and see how it holds its form. That's exactly what you want. You know that it's well done on both sides. So we're gonna let that rest for about 30 seconds before we cut it, just to make sure everything kind of congeals in there and doesn't fall out if you cut it too early. So, got our quesadilla sliced up, garnished, ready to go. If your kids are hungry or whoever you're cooking for is hungry, give it off to them, eat it while it's hot. And if not, you can let it rest and it will stay nice and warm while you repeat and make your second quesadilla. Enjoy.